What's up, weeknight dinner warriors? This is Bales with Southern For Real, bringing you another easy, healthy recipe that you can knock out on a weeknight to please your family. You guys know we love doing Sunday stir fries, but Sunday was Mother's Day, y'all, so we were busy making Mama happy. And if you forgot, you better just buy those flowers and get over there and start squalling and apologizing now, and maybe by next year she'll forgive you. So we're going to be doing a stir fry of some odds and ends we just have laying around in the refrigerator. We've got half of the leftover yellow onion, we've got a red bell pepper, got a couple of slices of pork loin that I think was probably left over at the butcher shop and they didn't know what to do with that we picked up. And we've got 4 eggs, so we're going to scramble in with everything. So we're going to show you how we do all this. This is a really quick, easy dinner. I'm going to say it's going to be 10 minutes of prep time and 5 minutes of cook time. So you're talking 15 minutes total to knock out a healthy, delicious dinner for your family. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is just bust open this pork package and cube it up so I can get it marinating. And the days of the trichinosis terror are over, y'all, so don't be afraid to work with pork. It's a great product. It'll add a lot of flavor to your dishes. So I'm going to cut this first just into strips and then I'm going to cube it up. We want this to turn out in easy to manage bite-sized pieces. So we've got our pork all cubed up. Next thing to do is to get it seasoned and marinating before we start breaking down our vegetables. So first we're going to go in with a 50-50 blend of kosher salt and coarse ground pepper. And to that we're going to add a little bit of Everglades heat. Just like that. We're going to just give this a stir. And these seasonings are just going to marinate this pork. The salt in particular will work to tenderize it while we work on breaking down our vegetables, and it'll be ready to go into the wok. So now we're going to start breaking down our peppers and onions. I've wiped down the cutting board. I know there's still a little moisture from the pork on the cutting board. Don't worry about that, y'all. All of these ingredients are going to go in the same raging hot pan to cook. So if there was anything on the pork that we don't want to eat, it's going to get taken care of one way or the other. So the first thing to do is just knock the sides off our bell peppers. And if you can identify where these ridge lines are, and then cut perpendicular to those, you can save yourself a lot of trouble having to clean the pepper itself. So I'm going to just clean a couple of these ribs up just a little. Alright, we're going to go ahead and chop these up. So the first thing we're going to do is cut them in half lengthwise. So we've got nice bite-sized pieces. And then we're just going to cut them into strands. So lastly, we're going to break down our half yellow onion. The reason we're doing that last is it tends to create a little bit of a mess on the cutting board. So this just saves us a little bit of cleanup along the way. I find it to be the easiest. So we're just going to peel away the outside layer of onion and discard that. And then we're just going to cut around the onion itself and cut it into thin wedges, keeping in mind that we want it to be roughly the same size as the red pepper that we just chopped up. So now that we've cut all the way around the onion and cut all these nice slices, we're just going to go ahead and cut those in half lengthwise. Again, so our red pepper and our onion are roughly the same size and should cook at the same rate. So next we're going to take care of getting our eggs ready. We like a lot of egg in ours. We prefer to do 2 eggs per person. We're feeding 2 tonight, so we're going with 4. And I'm just going to crack those. So our last bit of prep is just to season up our eggs before we whisk them up. So first we're going to go in with some chili oil. We're going to go with about 1/4 teaspoon for the 2 of us. And then sesame oil. Sesame oil you want to be pretty judicious with. I would say just a couple of drops is plenty. It has a rather strong flavor. So now we're just going to give our eggs a whisk. So we've got all our ingredients prepped up. We're ready to start the cook. We've got our wok over, basically a medium flame. Well, this is the kind of wok you can get for about 15 bucks at the grocery store, but if you don't have one of those, don't worry about it. You could use a large nonstick skillet. You could use a cast iron skillet. You could even use your Instant Pot. So we're going to get started. First thing we're going to be going in with are our veggies. But first we're going to add a little avocado oil. And we're just going to drop our veggies in. You hear that sizzle? That's exactly what we're looking for. And we're just going to keep them moving. Get them an even coating of that oil. And remember, y'all, this entire dish is going to cook up in 4 to 5 minutes. So we got these in. We got plenty of heat. They're going to cook quickly. We're going to go ahead and season them with a little truffle salt. No, that's not very traditional. What would be traditional right now would be to go in with some soy sauce. But we both have a soy sensitivity, so we're avoiding soy. So I'm using a little truffle salt instead. And for pepper, I'm using togarashi, which is a Japanese 7-spice. Give this another little stir. And give it just a little more heat. The wok's just cooling down because of the product being introduced. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and get our pork in. Go ahead and get it right in the center, in the hottest part of that wok. And let it start to sear. Alright, so this side's been down for about 30 seconds. We're just going to go ahead and give our pork a turn. Alright, just let it keep cooking. Alright, our peppers, our onions, and our pork are getting nice and sauteed. We've got a little bit of oil cooking out of the pork itself. It's the perfect time to go ahead and add our rice. So when you're doing this, y'all, you don't want to be using fresh rice. It's not going to do you any favors. You want rice you've been holding on to in the refrigerator for a day or two because you made so much and you didn't finish it with your dinner. Another great trick is, if you're doing something like Chinese carryout, just add a side of rice. It's like $1. Then you can do this anytime you want. So I'm just breaking this rice up into kernels as much as possible. And then we're going to give it all a mix to get them all coated in the oil and crisped up. So we got the rice all in. Now we're just going to start giving all this a stir. You can see that rice is starting to get coated in the oil. It's a combination of the avocado oil and fat that's been released from the pork itself. And we're going to let this get a little bit of a toast on it. Alright, we've got a nice little toast on our rice. So I'm just going to create a space here in the center of our wok so I can lay the egg down in the warmest part. We're just going to add our egg mixture right into the center. We're going to let that set up for just a few seconds. And we're about to be done, y'all. I promise you this happened fast, and I guarantee you, when you're cooking it, it happens in a hurry. So I've added just a touch more togarashi, as you can see, and I can hear that this egg is getting hot. So I'm going to go ahead and start moving it around in the pan and combining it with our other ingredients. This is going to give the fried rice a great creamy texture. It's adding a lot of protein. This is going to be a very nutritious and delicious dinner, y'all. Alright, y'all. As we can see, our egg is now cooked. It's been in for about 90 seconds. So we're about to get this out of the pan and get it on the plate. Alright, Weeknight Warriors, as you can see, our simple stir fry is done. We've got pork, yellow onion, red pepper, egg, leftover brown rice. We've sauteed it all together. It's steaming, it's so hot. So let's go in and get a bite. We often eat this with chopsticks, but try doing that on camera, y'all. Those flavors are really complementing each other nicely. We got a little bit of the salt and the truffle from the truffle salt, pepper from the togarashi and chili oil, a little nuttiness from the sesame oil. It's really coming together well. So please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Take care, God bless, and send your thanks, especially to those that are overseas and in harm's way tonight. Good night, y'all.